I've had several questions about whether or not you can do a TBL virtually using Zoom. And the great news is, yes, you can, and you actually have a lot of options on how you carry out the certain parts of the TBL. So for those of you who aren't super familiar with it, a TBL includes prep work. The students do readings or they watch some videos, they look through PowerPoints, and the prep work is supposed to replace a lecture. So it actually takes material that was presented in a lecture and pushes the didactic portion onto the students to do some independent study and think about the basics of the information. And then when they come into the live session, they first take an individual quiz to check to see if they were prepared for the session, and that's called an IRAT. And then they take the same quiz with the fellow students in a group environment, and then they teach each other. They can choose the right answer together, and these the points get added to the total score for completing the TBL in different proportions according to every teacher in class can choose how much the IRAT is worth and how much the GRAT is worth for that TBL. And then after they finish the group quiz, they do application exercises that are meant to stimulate deeper thought and discussion surrounding the material that the students are learning in that session. And so that's the general format for a TBL. So there are lots of choices on making materials. The prep work, you can have your PowerPoint, you can have videos, you can have lots of articles or whatever you want the students to look over to prepare for this session. It's good to be super clear on the objectives and what the students need to do to feel prepared. There's a lot of frustration around TBLs if they really don't understand what they were supposed to learn, and there's a lot of anxiety about the quizzes if they're not prepared. So really a lot of thought needs to go into the prep work. And then the IRAT can be made on Canvas if you want it to be made on Canvas and you want it to go directly to the grade book. So you can make quizzes on Canvas, and if you need help with making quizzes, then we can do that at a later time. I like to also use Turning Point to make quizzes, and I'll show you why I do that in 1 second. So here you can see that I made this GRAT for TBL that we had in phase 2 in the spring. And what I like about this feature on Turning Point is that you can share the link of the quiz or the module that you made online. And so you can copy the link and then you can just paste that link into your chat box. So when you're in your Zoom session and you have your chat box, you can actually break the students up into breakout rooms if you want to ahead of time, and you can send the link to them, or before they go into their breakout rooms, you can copy and paste the link in there. And all they have to do is click on the link, and it's going to go to the session or the module that you made online for them to complete. And the nice thing is that they can do it in their groups. They can be on a different screen, so it's not something that you have to present to them and go through question by question. They can go back and forth if they want to between the questions and talk about them. And so that's why I like using Turning Point for the GRAT and for the group application exercises. And I can show you how to easily make these types of modules using the Turning Point online feature. The other thing that's nice about this is that you can see the data right away. Now you could also do that in Canvas, and so really Canvas is also a perfect, good choice if you're more familiar with Canvas. But I like the feature of copying this link directly, and students can click on the link on their phone or on the computer. They could be looking on their phone at the group application exercises or the GRAT questions, and then they could be talking on Zoom and leave their computer free. So I like that feature. And so really, as long as you're comfortable using Zoom and you either use Canvas to make the IRAT, GRAT, and GAE, or you can use the Turning Point to do those, you can still complete your TBL using those features plus the breakout rooms. When you just click on that, you can create the rooms and the students can discuss the GRAT and they can discuss the group application exercises. Then they can come back to the main room where you can see if the students had any questions about the material, or you can wrap up the session at the end. So those are all great ways to carry out a TBL using the technology that we have at hand.